Aloha, namaste. So much love. This is Kai Pacha with the weekly Pele report for May 15th of the year 2013. Oh yeah, it's a beautiful day. Mercury is going over there into the sign of Gemini. Moon is in the sign of Leo, which is sextile Gemini. It's going to stay there until Saturday. Moon goes into Virgo on Saturday. Just, you know, and just around then, just before that, we have our first quarter moon. Sun's in the late degrees of Taurus. Moon's going to square it from late Leo. Then it's going to go into Virgo this weekend. Coming up and rising into the sign of Libra over there on Monday. So the big thing, I'd say the big news for this weekend is we have our third Uranus conjunct Pluto. Uranus conjunct Pluto. It's been going on since June of 2012, and it's going to go on until the spring, well, I should say April, March and April of 2015. This is like a 2.5 year evolutionary change for all of mankind, and we have the exact square at 11 degrees of Uranus at Aries, Pluto in Capricorn, and that exact square is coming to a peak ahead this weekend. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. It's pretty long term, but you know, this week is really sweet because then also on Monday the Sun moves into Gemini out of Taurus, and then we're going to have Sun, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, and Black Moon Lilith are all going to be in the sign of Gemini. It's amazing. We had this Pisces party going on, and then we had the Aries party, the Taurus party. Now we're coming up to the Gemini party. And we'll just, I'll find a place to sit down here by the water and tell you all about it. Talk to you soon. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? Talk. Moon is going into Gemini, so we can talk and talk and talk and talk. Gemini. I'm going to come back to Gemini because I want to really explore this Uranus square Pluto. I was thinking about it a little earlier today. It's really something because in astrology, people tend to interpret Pluto, god of the underworld, you know, Scorpio, root chakra, volcanoes, transformation, orgasm. Pluto's this big heavy in astrology. And then we've got Saturn moving through Scorpio, sign of Pluto. And Saturn is looked at as a real heavy. That, you know, it's duty and responsibility and time and karma, and he's a heavy. But if you look at the mythology, Uranus was the sky god who was long before Pluto and was the father of Saturn. So if you want to look at a heavy, you know, it was basically this sky god. Uranus was one with Gaia until he separated and became the sky. This is like the primal, you know, creation. There was no space before the sky lifted off the earth. Uranus goes back to the origin, the very origins. He was like, you know, the primary primal sky god, the originator. He is the originator, and he was one tough papa, daddy. He locked his children, the Cyclops, the Titans, he locked them in the earth. He did not want to be overthrown. And it was only Saturn time that actually castrated Uranus and took over. Then Saturn became the head honcho, the main guy, until Jupiter overthrew him. So it goes your Uranus, Saturn, Jupiter in terms of succession of the main, we could say, patriarchal gods, but it kind of goes beyond patriarchy. So we can kind of look at this, and then we look into, you know, how astrology has evolved. And there's a, you know, I always associate Uranus very much with Prometheus, the light bearer that stole fire from the gods, was a rebel. And that kind of goes with Uranus as the original, the origin. So there's this whole thing about Uranus, having to do with originality, individuality. Carl Jung calls it the process of individuation, where we come into our own unique, special self. But this is not simple. This is not easy. As Prometheus and Uranus, you know, demonstrate, okay, sometimes the truth hurts. Sometimes these aha moments are difficult and challenging. And right now it's moving through Aries. And it's been there for a year. It's going to be there 6 more years. This is, you know, a big time of us awakening to the reality, the power, the intensity, our individual expression of desire, passion, sexuality. You know, the part of us that wants our way, the only way, or the highway. Liberation is, you know, it's impulse. We are like becoming shockingly aware of how impulsive, of how intensely we desire things or need things or want things. And sometimes we shock ourselves. Whoa, I didn't know I wanted that so bad. It hurts so much when it went away or when it didn't happen or whatever, you know. It's like we're getting in touch with, you know, what we really want. But the other thing that this has to do with is the square to Pluto. And this harkens back to the conjunction of 1965, 1966, when Uranus and Pluto were conjunct in Virgo. Now Pluto has arisen up to Capricorn. Virgo and Pluto are both earth signs. And Pluto, we know, is transformation, and it's power, and it's money, it's mastery, it's control. And coming through Capricorn is governments, institutions, armies, religions, the people that have power, that are in control, that are authorities, that are the elders. And it's time to transform. Pluto transforms these. So our big brothers, our governments, our churches can be letting us down because we need to, Uranus and Aries, individualize. We need to rebel. We need to step up. We need to make changes. We need to come into a pure, evolved expression of self. And this is a lot of tension. And it's a lot of shock. Uranus happens with shocking awareness. Oh my God, there's no pure drinking water. Oh, look at the droughts. Oh, look at what Monsanto is doing. Look what the government is doing. It's like shock, awe, and surprise. And it's not just dropping bombs on Iraq that is shock and awe. We're having a lot of shocks and awes, and we're going to have a lot more. Here comes a train. That's what Uranus is like. You're sitting out in nature, and all of a sudden, oh, fucking train comes along, man. Yeah, it's like, whoa, look around you, wake up. Uranus is the great awakener. So we're getting awakened now. We can't sleep. People are like losing sleep. We're not sleeping as much. We're like more on edge. Uranus is the nervous system. It's the third eye. This is like this super powerful time. And like I say, from June of 12 to March of 15, we're not even halfway into what this square is all about. So the seeds that were sown in the 60s, getting back to nature, of organics, of following Mother Earth, of connecting with simplicity, of purifying the earth and ourselves and our bodies with good food and exercise, etc. Now this is like coming out. We need institutions, we need medical associations, we need insurance companies, we need, everyone to be on board with protecting the earth, with managing our health, with creating a culture and a society that has the whole. Yeah, Uranus is this whole sky god and the whole earth, Gaia, that has the whole systems. Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. Aquarius is globalization. It's going to be this emergence of global policies that go beyond individual governments or individual corporations. Except for global corporations, we gotta come into managing global corporations, or global corporations have to wake up. So anyway, Uranus going through Aries is the individual waking up. So it's not just out there, it's also in here. And as we become more original, break free, break out, express our new self with inventiveness, and we innovate, and we are not afraid to break out of, conforming to what is, then this is what's going to bring in this whole new paradigm. So in these last couple of months, that Aries party going on in April now leads into this Taurus, which is moving into Gemini. So we've had this last month of Taurus, Mars, Venus, Mercury, Sun going through Taurus, opposing Saturn. It's been about, it's been a little heavy. It's been pretty earthy. It's been time to get our finances together, our money together, get our, resources together. And now things are lightening up. It's moving into Gemini. And it's time to dispense, disperse, disseminate, interact, communicate. Gemini is air. Get together with friends and community. Make sacred circles. Network. Get on that iPhone. Get on that email. Check your messages. Hook up. This is a time of sharing ideas that we've kind of discovered, our new resources, our new talents. This is a real time for, going for it. We're kind of coming out of Taurus, Earth, the cave, and it's time to emerge. Gemini's a yang sign. And to help along with that, right now the moon is in Leo, sextile to that Gemini. It's like fire and air feed each other. So this is a good time. It's lightening up, man. We've had a lot of this opposition to Saturn. It's been pretty heavy these last couple weeks. And now Gemini is going to, change. It's all about change. As of Monday, that sun goes into Gemini. We're going to have the Gemini party. It's time to get out, get about, lighten up. So the mantra for this week is, oh boy. Though it's often hard to say, and I wish to go away, this actually is a beautiful day to smile and laugh and say, okay. We're coming up. No more out in the dumps. No more down in the dumps. It's Gemini, the Joker, the juggler, man. Yeah. It's time to party. And a lot of this stuff is square Neptune. I didn't even talk about that. Venus is square Neptune this weekend, which is, maybe escaping a little too much, but it's nice to get out of the body once in a while and experience, you know, those other dimensions. So, yeah. Though it's often hard to say, and I often wish to go away, this actually is a beautiful day to smile and laugh and say, okay, namaste, aloha.